an incredible actress, and we're going to be talking about building resilience from pitch to movie. And I just want to quickly intro you, Marianthe. Marianthe hails from the small city of Pietermaritzburg, where she studied a BA in drama, media, and classics. She went on to study her honors at Wits in performance and writing, and has since appeared in both works in both the UK and in South Africa. Her first love is theatre, a medium where she portrayed the role of the Revlon Girl in the Naledi nominated and Ovation Award-winning play of the same name. She was actually the Revlon Girl in the Revlon Girl. Recently, Marianthe has been focusing on writing and screen work. She's just wrapped up filming on her short film, Hey Jude, and has received multiple nominations for web series booked, including Best Writing and Best Comedy. And what is really exciting is actually in this week, the web series booked has actually won a British Web Award for Best Comedy Trio as well. Marianthe loves to learn and continues to attend multiple events, workshops where she can grow network with like-minded people. Marianthe, it's so lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here. Excited.
Wonderful. So I wanted to find out a bit about Hey Jude. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? I know it was through the Pitch SA. What was that about, and how did that happen? And what was the process and the journey like?
So Hey Jude was the winner of the Pitch SA, and the Pitch is actually a short film competition started in the UK. So they also have the UK-based competition. And we basically, it was a friend of mine and I, Christine van Heers, we came up with an idea. We had to submit a video, and we were chosen for the finals weekend, and that involved workshops and meeting with the panelists, and then ending in a presentation. A disclaimer, I did do a session with Jacco van Dam to prepare me for that session.
Shameless promotion.
It obviously helped because Christine and I won, and the competition, the prize is they produce your short film. So that's what we've been doing this year. We won that in February, and we basically hit the ground running, just started writing, Christine and I, and then COVID happened. So everything got put on hold for quite a while. We initially wanted to film in August, but COVID. But in a way, it was a good thing because we actually got to look at our script even more, and we got to have, people came and looked at our script with us and worked on it with us, and we got to refine it more, and we had more time with our script, which was really great. And we got some really, really wonderful people to come on board from behind the camera and in front of the camera to be in the film, which we ended up filming the beginning of this month, November. So this week we
That is so phenomenal. That's so phenomenal.
Yeah,
I wanted to quickly just ask you, as part of that journey, did you feel that you needed a lot of resilience? So you were mentioning COVID, you were mentioning writing the script yourself. Like, was there a lot of back and fro with the producers? How much did you actually have to have resilience in yourself as part of the journey?
You really do. And I think a lot of that resilience is holding yourself accountable as well. Not letting yourself say, well, we don't know when this pandemic is going to be over. I'm just going to shelve this and be sad about it. We just continued writing, and Christine and I would keep sending our producers new drafts. We're like, hey, we've just been writing because we haven't been able to film. So, I think you need to just keep at it. I think that's resilience, is not letting yourself be down about it and try and just push through and see the positive and find a way to make things happen, which the producers really did, because COVID meant everything went crazy this year. But despite all of that, our producers really worked so hard and wanted to make this film with us and found a way to make it during a pandemic. And that's resilience. If you really want to get something done, that willpower will find a way.
Definitely. So we'll get back to the film in a moment. I wanted to know a bit more about your writing process. So I know that you were even writing when you were living in England. So what were you writing then?
In the UK, I didn't write too much. It was more small things for myself. And I think that's something I've come a bit late to the party with the writing. As a performer, everyone always tells you you have to make your own work, you have to make your own work. And I think I had a bit of imposter syndrome with that. Like, I'm not a writer, I'm just a performer. My stories aren't good enough.
And how did you overcome that?
I think a lot of validation from other people did help, surrounding myself with people who were positive and people who supported me, because it's not an easy industry to be in. It really isn't. You're going to get a lot of no's, and you're going to get a lot of weird comments. And, unfortunately, it's not the easiest industry. But when you find people you can work well with, like Christine van Hees and I have a really great working relationship and friendship. And we wrote Hey Jude together, and we used a writing software that allows you to collaborate. So we could see each other's changes, we could chat live, and
wow.
So that was really useful and helped given the COVID pandemic. And
so collaboration was quite good as part of the writing process to keep yourself accountable as well, and to see if you're kind of on the right track. So besides, sorry, Marianthe.
I was also going to say what helped us setting ourselves goals. No one gave us a goal necessarily, but we said, okay, no, we're finishing this draft by this date. And I think that helped to get things done as well for us as well, because sometimes you can just sit back and see, oh, wow, a month has passed and I haven't done anything. And even with other writing that I'm just doing on my own, I'll put a note in my diary and say, this has to be done by this date, to make yourself actually do something.
So actually having deadlines really helps you. In terms of other writing that you've done, you've also written for the web series. And you guys were actually, in your bio was saying you were nominated for 2 awards, and then you won the British Web Award for Best Comedy Trio. How was that process like? Writing, acting, and producing. Like, that's kind of like you are a one-stop shop doing everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I must say, we were a very small team and we did everything. Like you said, we wrote, we acted, we produced, and it is quite difficult. You have to try and, when you're acting, take off the writing hat, and when you're producing, take off the writer hat and be, realistic about what you can and can't do. And it was a big learning experience for me, because it's the first web series I've ever done. Christine van Hees was also a part of that.
Yes.
We just decided, well, we want to make something for ourselves, and we just did. And it was a great learning experience, because you can see, we watch it and we can see, okay, well, that worked brilliantly, love that. That didn't work, not super happy with that. How do we fix that? How do we make it better next time? And I think the only way, the only way to learn is to do something, is to do it. Because again, it's a tough industry, and often it's easier to put yourself out there if you have work behind you, if you have, and my main background is theatre. So I also thought, well, I want to actually do more on-screen work. I haven't had the opportunity, so let me make my own opportunity.
Brilliant. And that's, I think, what entrepreneurs really have to do, is they need to make things happen themselves. Because if someone else is not going to give you the opportunity, create the magic yourself, come up with the project yourself, hire the people that you want yourself, or do it yourself. So I found that highly inspirational. Thanks for sharing that. In terms of Revlon Girl, that was the other theatre piece that I saw twice, and I could have probably seen it multiple times. And what was very interesting for me is you guys were performing at Grahamstown Festival for quite a period, and then I don't know if it was in Johannesburg or somewhere else, where you were almost performing for a month, and you had multiple performances a day. And you were saying to me that it was quite a highly emotional piece. Can you just give some background on what the story is about, and then how did you kind of like debrief yourself so that you don't get stuck in depression and sadness after playing such a highly emotional role?
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing, to look after yourself when you're doing such a difficult role. So the play, The Revlon Girl, is actually a British play. It first ran in the UK off West End, and it's set in 1966 in Wales, after the Ab Van disaster, which it's a true story. A mine tip collapsed and took out half of a village and a school, and it killed, I can't remember the exact number now, but it was over 100 children. It was, if anyone has watched The Crown, it's in an episode of The Crown. They address it. It was a very, very big deal. And this
I just went for that episode. I just watched that episode.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I cried when I watched that episode. I did. Yeah. And this play looks at 5 women. So 4 are mothers who have lost children. And Revlon is the character I play. She's from Bristol, and she comes to do a makeup demo with the ladies because they feel like they've let themselves go and they just want a bit of lipstick in their life. And a lot of, very deep things come out as these women are talking, as they're trying to put on makeup, and as Revlon is trying to do her presentation. And we also find that Revlon has her own demons, her own difficulties that she's carrying around with her. And it's an amazingly beautiful piece, also because it's 5 women, which you don't see a lot, and it looks at the strength of women and the strength and power in hope, which is a wonderful thing. But it is very difficult to do that every day for a month.
So what did you do to cope?
So I know people harp on about it, but it's because it's true. You got to eat properly. You have to sleep properly, drink lots of water. And it's something I did, which was difficult, was to prioritize myself and to say no. And I think a lot of women especially are not great at that. I'm not great at that. I'm still learning. But when you get to bed at midnight every night and you're crying every day and pouring out all of these emotions, you can't say yes to everything. You can't do 50 million other things for everyone else. You need to look after yourself. You need to say, actually, today I need to sleep in. I need to journal, which is another technique that is,
okay.
I think, people outside of the performing arts do know about it, and some people do it, but it's a really, really great technique. Basically, you just let everything out, and you can journal about your day. It's not a diary. It's not a Dear Diary thing. It's just say everything in your head and get feelings out, and it's very cathartic, and no one else is going to see it. I mean, I've thrown away or deleted things I've typed. It's just for you, that those things that you think that you, if anyone heard me think this or say this, oh my goodness, what they'd think of me. But it's great to just get that out, and it helps you emotionally just to debrief. And then
That's
also
quite amazing. I just want to add something to that before you continue. Sounds like, did you read The Artist's Way? Because in The Artist's Way, she speaks about the morning pages, which she says first thing in the morning, just do. So it sounds like you're typing, but she says you can also just write out 3 or 4 full pages, and it's literally just dumping your thoughts, because only after that will the beautiful creativity come out, and you can start noticing patterns of thoughts and that.
Absolutely.
As well.
And I mean, I keep saying her name, but Christine Van Heers, my wonderful friend and collaborator, from her journaling, she created a theatre piece that's gone on to win multiple awards, the One Woman Show, because she found her thinking and she refined that and made it into a play.
Incredible.
And it's a really great tool to just emotionally dump everything, and it's just for you. For example, I'm not a person who swears a lot, but when I journal, there are quite a few swear words. I'm not going to lie. If I've had a very emotional day or I've had a conflict, there's some swearing, and there's never swearing in my real life. So yes, it's really great and really cathartic. And and there are also other techniques to get out of character that help you as a performer that actually are really great if you have anxiety or you feel overwhelmed. And they're really simple. Like, one is just to hyperfocus on something. So look out the window, look at a tree, and try and count how many leaves are on the tree. And your brain kind of just switches over into that and hyperfocuses onto that and forgets this emotional
other anxiety. Okay. Wow. So hyperfocus. Awesome. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So find something around you that you can count, basically. Count the panes of glass in a window, count the blades of grass in front of you. Yeah. Hyperfocus helped. And I also really like breathing techniques. So a really, really simple one is to just breathe in for a certain count and then breathe out for the same count. So you breathe in and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you just increase the numbers to as much as your lungs can take. And it's kind of a form of that hyperfocus as well. It's because you just start focusing on that breathing and everything else kind of takes over, and then you try and you oxygenate your brain and your body a bit, and you feel a lot calmer by the end of it. Yeah.
Wow. So you were saying healthy eating. Were you saying exercise as well, or do you need to during that time actually take a break from exercise to give you energy? What have you found?
I exercise a bit. I exercised a bit less, but I did still exercise because it was great. It releases endorphins, and I say this not being a fan of the gym, but I also do dancing, and there's so many different forms of exercise you can do to bring you joy and to I like Pilates as well, and as a performer as well. I think it's very important to look after your body. That's your tool. And for me in the Revlon Girl, my character sat down for about 5 minutes in the entire play. The rest, she was standing very straight in high heels. So I actually needed to, before and after performances, I did lots of stretches to help my lower back, and that's quite important. And I think performers are very aware of their bodies because it's our work, but a lot of people, even if you work at a laptop, now with COVID and with doing more writing, I found that even more I need to stretch my neck. I need to move my body more so that it actually feels better. And being physically fit it's important. You don't have to go run a marathon, because I know I'm never going to run a marathon. It's not my path in life. But being healthy, when your body is happy, your mind is happy.
Definitely. So find something that works for you. It doesn't have to be the general gym thing. It could actually be something fun and stretching as well. So what kind of diet were you following during that period? Was it mostly salads, fresh stuff, or with runners, they need to have pasta the night before and they're having Coke and bananas. What is on the menu for an actress,
Well, I think for Marianthe, I love fruit and vegetables, but I think that's also how I grew up. I'm Greek, and the Mediterranean diet is how I grew up, and that's what it's like. I can't do very high fat. My body doesn't like that. But then you get other people who like Banting it does it for them, and I think diet is very specific to each individual person. I mean, like I just look at my husband needs to eat a lot more meat. I don't eat meat every day. I don't need to. My body wants fruit and vegetables. And especially when I'm working, especially when I'm on something intense like Revlon Girl, I'm very, very conscious of my diet. I make sure I eat my more than 5 fruit and vegetables a day, because I just know if I don't, by the end of the day, I feel gross. So I would take food with me as well, because I'm one of those people who needs to eat a lot and eat constantly. So I would take snacks, especially if we were doing multiple shows a day. I would eat before a little bit, and then I'd eat after, and because my blood pressure will just go. Psh. So for me,
you don't become angry, so that you can monitor your blood pressure. Brilliant. Blood sugar. Yeah. I wanted to ask you again about Hey Jude. I wanted to ask you, would you mind just taking us kind of like behind the scenes? What did a typical day look like for us that are not in the acting industry? What happens on set, and what's still going to happen? What are you guys still doing after filming?
So filming, it was on location, which meant it was outside of Joburg. The script it's kind of a road trip script. So we were in the middle of nowhere. So we filmed out by the Val Dam. So a typical day it started with waking up at about 4 a.m. And then getting everything together and meeting at base camp and driving about an hour and a half out of Joburg. And then we all had breakfast together and did all the makeup and costume. And then the performers, Christine and I, we made sure we warmed up. So physically warmed up our bodies and did vocal exercises to warm up our voices. And then we filmed. I know Christine and I worked very hard, but I do feel like the crew worked even harder because we were out on the dirt road and they had to rig cameras into cars and do all sorts. And we had an ice cream truck that we had to drive. It was quite exciting.
It looked very fun, very much fun.
It was a lot of fun. Everyone on set was really, really lovely and really positive, and that just made the hard work seem less like work. You only realized at the end of the day when you got back home at like 9 at night that, wow, I'm really, really tired.
What did you have to do about making sure that you stay positive? How important is that as an actor, even like while you're performing, that you're like monitoring your thoughts and you're staying positive so that doesn't affect your performance?
Yeah, I think exactly what you said is, monitoring your thoughts. If you keep on telling yourself, oh, this is so difficult, oh my gosh, this sucks so much, oh my word, I'm so hungry, oh my word, I just wish it was lunchtime. It's going to show in your performance. Like, eat an apple and carry on. I think positive thought is very, very important. And I've said it before, like having positive people around you, for me, that's a big one, I'm learning as I carry on, who I will work with, who I won't work with. And everyone on the set of Hey Jude was just so fantastic and so positive. And, we all believed in the story. And I think as a performer, that's also something you have to find what you believe in your character, the story you're trying to tell, and the purpose that you're serving, and focus on that. And I think that's true of any work. If you find the purpose that this work is serving, and it's bigger than you, it's bigger than little old Marianthe, it's bigger than Yoka, and you look at, what am I doing in the greater scheme here? What am I serving? Because that's more important, and that's how I can actually find value in everything I'm doing. Because let's face it, you can have your dream job, but they're going to be bad days. You're going to have the...
I'm so sorry. Without giving anything away, would you mind just sharing one of the messages of Hey Jude, or what you guys are trying to achieve through the short film?
So the two characters, Mickey and Lucy, they're on their way to a music festival, which is their big break. But everything goes a little pear-shaped. And with these characters, we kind of asked the question, how far would you go? What is right and what is wrong, and where's that line?
Because it's like ethics. Sure.
And so, you see, you don't know, you didn't think you were capable of something, but then, oh, wow, in this situation you are. And it just looks at, ethics and values and what you would do for your big break.
Oh, wow. So it's actually quite a deep message as well.
Yeah, it is a comedy, but that's why I love comedy, because it can ask these big questions without bogging everyone down and making them feel so terrible.
Brilliant. So when is this coming out? When can people expect to see it, and where can they see it when it comes out? And we will obviously share that.
Thank you. Well, we still have some shots to do, so just some exterior shots and some pickup shots that are happening this week, and probably next year it'll first go to festivals, so we'll market it for festivals. That's generally how short films go. So we don't have an exact date yet, unfortunately, for release, but I will definitely let you know, and it'll be on my social media as well. So if you follow me or if you follow Yoka, you'll definitely know. But first stop would be festivals for next year.
Would it start with international, since it's actually a UK-based, or local festivals, or like, do you have some of the names?
So it'll be for both. I know there's the Rapid Line is one, which is South African. Yes, sorry.
Okay.
There's Joburg Film Festival that airs a lot of short.
It sounds like you've just frozen, Marianthe.
Some more for comedy. So once we have our final product and we have dates, then we'll know which festivals it's going to go to.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's been such a pleasure having you here today, and we will definitely put all of Marianthe's links so that you guys could get in contact with her. Marianthe, if people want to do work with you, what are the kind of things that they can actually, that you're open to doing work with them? Uh, okay, so let me just say, can you hear me? So thank you so much, guys. It was such a great time actually having Marianthe Smart with us. We'll make sure that if you want to connect with her, she's available for writing work, for acting work, and for voiceovers. And you're welcome to contact her. I'll put all of the details in our links. And in January, we will have Nikki Quinn for our next live, all about leadership and leading across cultures, international teams. Have a wonderful day.